Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This is my review for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, this game, I played the beta. I've had it since launch, and I've been playing it pretty thoroughly for the last couple of weeks. And I figured now's a good time to do a review after a couple of updates to see how the game's performing now. Now, first, I want to talk about the campaign and get that out the way right away. The campaign was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. You know, I like these characters in the Modern Warfare 2 series, or the Modern Warfare series, I should say. Price returns, Gaz returns, now you got Ghost here, Soap, and a lot of new great characters. Not huge action set pieces like some of the other Call of Duty games, but it was more small ops related kind of missions, but you had your occasional set piece missions as well. Farah does return, but unfortunately she doesn't return in a big role. She's basically in one mission, and that's this mission where you're kind of on a highway and you're trying to catch up to the lead car, and you got to jump from car to car. This is probably the craziest set piece mission, because there's a point in the mission where you're dangling from a rope upside down and there's cars zooming by you, and I'm like, okay, it was pretty out there, but it was pretty cool. And then from there, you got to leap from car to car, depending on how much damage the car you're riding takes. And yeah, it's just like a big movie action set piece. Graphically, the game is beautiful. Of course, this depends what platform you're playing it on. I played it on PC, so I have no limitations on what kind of settings I can put it on. So I put it on high as possible, and it looked fantastic. I do have a ray tracing video card, so it looked great. And look, the game, the campaign ran fine. I didn't have any issues with the campaign in terms of performance. So I would say campaign wise, you know, I know these campaigns are short. I know they're not the highlight of the Call of Duty series, but I too do tend to enjoy them, and I enjoyed this one thoroughly. Now, going into multiplayer. Now, multiplayer is as fun as you can expect it to be. You know, you get all these crazy different guns, you can level them up, you have a varied customization depending on what pieces you unlock, what guns you use. Gameplay is fine. They've seemed to improve some things from the beta. The footsteps issue is not nearly as big an issue as it was before. You can still hear people pretty clearly, but they got to be pretty close to you for you to hear them. It's not perfect. Sometimes I wonder why, if I'm in a building and I see somebody out there that's near me that maybe doesn't see me through a window running around on dirt, why it sounds like they're in a building. But be that as it may, the issue with the multiplayer is not the gameplay itself. If the game is running, you're playing, it's great. It's a lot of fun. There's no issues there. The issue is this game was not ready for launch. In fact, I've had more issues playing this game when it launched than I did during the beta. I've had crashes, I've had insane lag, and I'm telling you, I can run this game on high settings. It's not, I know for a fact it's not my machine. I've had to a couple of times run the game on like balanced settings, which is fine. You know, it still looks good, it still plays well, but you know, I like to play as high settings as possible. Now, this wasn't consistent. This always happened like during the first multiplayer game or the second. If I had it on ultimate settings or extreme settings, it would be choppy. I would tone it down to like balanced or whatever, it would still be choppy. But then like the third game in, everything would settle down, everything would be fine. So for some reason, just those first two games, every time I loaded the game to play, it would get choppy. Once that was done, then there's the crashes, and these were, I don't want to say they happened all the time. They were pretty uncommon, but they happened often enough to the point that it would just annoy me. So 9 times out of 10, not to saying it happened 10 times, the point I'm trying to make is most times when it happened, I just got so turned off by it, I just stopped playing altogether. There are other issues with the game in terms of multiplayer, and you've heard this from many other people, so I'm just going to echo this sentiment. The UI is just horrendous when it comes to going through your guns. There are so many different pieces to unlock in this game in terms of scopes, you know, stocks, barrels, things of that nature, that to navigate through each gun is very, very annoying. Sometimes you'll go to a gun and you want to see its leveling line, what pieces, and you'll click it and it just won't even open up that way. I don't know if it's a bug for me. I haven't heard anyone else talk about it, but there is a submachine gun that tells me that if I get another submachine gun to unlock, I think it was the Vel 9 or something along those lines. I can't remember the name exactly, but if I get that gun to 14, I can unlock this other gun. Well, I got that gun to 14 and that gun is still locked. So I'm not sure if this is something that's just gonna unlock when the game officially launches next week, or if it's just a bug I'm experiencing. But for some reason, that gun is still locked, even though the requirement it tells me that I need to meet to unlock it is met and it's still unlocked. So it's this big mess. I don't like the UI for looking through your skins for your guns. That's annoying, and it's just very choppy throughout the menus as well. It's a big mess. It's not only is it not aesthetically pleasing, it is a pain in the butt to navigate, and most times it's choppy as hell. So, you know, just other issues. I have all these tokens that I can use. I have not used them because it does not show the timer. They've done some minor updates since then, but nothing's really changed. You know, there was one update they did where they said fix things that cause crashes, and I'm still crashing as of yesterday. So, you know, while the multiplayer game is fun, and I'm not going to sit here and crap on that, it's a fun game when you're in there and everything is working cleanly, when I don't have to worry about that early portion of choppiness that I got to deal with every time I log into a game for the first match or two. It's fun. I've had a blast. There's a lot of cool guns. There's a lot of guns that just have different names, you know, like same guns from 2019, but they just call them something else, you know what I mean? So I think like one of the cost off models or it's actually the MP4 or something like that. I don't know. So not the MP4, excuse me, the M13. And so, you know, but still, I mean, those are great guns. A lot of people like submachine guns to me are the best guns in the game right now. That's kind of how it was for 2019 towards the middle end portion of that lifespan. A couple of assault rifles are good. I love the TAC 56. It's one of my favorite assault rifles. You know, and obviously the submachine guns, like I said, the Fennec is great. All the submachine guns you can shred with. There's really no submachine gun right now that's bad, but I love the Fennec. It's got a very, very, I mean, it just melts. So again, playing wise, game is great. But in terms of technicality, aesthetics, and overall performance, you know, game wise, once you get beyond the crashing and beyond the choppiness, game runs great. But the UI is really, really bad. Some lack of features. There's no, you know, barracks. You know, there's none of that. So you don't even know if your performances are being tracked. So it just looks like a game that was, once again, a AAA game released incomplete. And this is the story of the industry. Every game, almost every game, I'll find out about God of War, but so far God of War is getting a lot of praises, so I haven't started that yet. But I mean, let's just face it, 9 out of 10 AAA games are just launched incomplete. And I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, but it boggles my mind that we continue, and I shouldn't even say we, because I don't really buy AAA games anymore. Only certain select titles, and I was really looking forward to this game, so this is why I bought it. And of course, I'm having some buyer's remorse because of the fact that it's just not ready. I'm pretty sure it's going to be great next week when Warzone 2.0 hits. But the official launch for this game was a week ago, or 2 weeks ago rather. So if at official launch you're missing features, your game is running suboptimally, that's not a launch. I mean, it's not even better than beta. Like I said, during beta, I wasn't crashing. I'm crashing now. So this is par for the course in the industry, and the only way it's ever going to end is if people just stop buying the games on launch, you know, and that's just never going to happen, because Call of Duty is a franchise that is very heavily They make a lot of their money from general audiences, not people that are on the internet talking about it, not professional gamers, not gamers who stream, and not gamers who spend hours online playing. They cater to the general, and you can kind of tell that in this game. There are a lot of things that are much easier in Call of Duty now than it used to be. And because of that, they're never, ever going to not change. And that goes for other titles as well. That goes for other industries as well. This is why EA tends to survive. This is why, CG Projekt Red, despite Cyberpunk, they survived. Until people stop spending their money on suboptimal games that come out at launch, they're never going to stop these practices where they deliver an incomplete game and then either promise you to fix it later, or charge you for the features that should have been there at launch as a DLC later. So this is where we are in the industry. This is why I am huge on indie games and small developers. But I do love my Modern Warfare, and I can't say that I haven't had fun when getting into multiplayer, but this is also one of the reasons why I don't buy AAA titles 90% of the time. For me, like God of War, that was a no-brainer. And I don't buy Modern Warfare, Call of Duty every year. I buy Call of Duty every couple of years, primarily when it's a more modern game. I don't like really going back to the past, like World War II. I like more of the modern weapons, which is why obviously I bought this one. But anyway, that's it for my review. Tell me what your experiences have been so far with Modern Warfare, if you've been playing it, and if you look forward to Warzone and Season 1 next week. And until then, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.